Hey guys, and welcome back to the Fortress. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Fortress. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a review of Arrow Season 4, Episode 20, entitled Canary Cry. So I'm going to be trying a new style here, so let me know if you enjoy it in the comments section below. Now, this episode picks up right after the death of Black Canary, Laurel Lance, the ADA, and it starts off in a funeral flashback of Tommy Merlin's funeral. Now, this is, I think, brought in to kind of show that before Oliver wasn't able to actually stand up for Tommy and talk to him, and that's when Laurel kind of stood up and helped him out by talking to her to them for him. And then it kind of flashed right back to the hospital scene, which was the end of the last episode. And you also see a young woman walk through, which is actually quite important to the story later, but we'll get into that here in a minute. The very first real scene is Oliver and Diggle interacting. Diggle can't forgive himself, and Oliver is just trying to help him. Now, we've seen this in many times before in the first, second, and third seasons, where one of them is hurting and the other comes in and tries to help. But Diggle can't seem to get over this, and Oliver, despite everything he's done, can't console him. His brother helped kill Laurel because of his decision not to interrogate Andy. This, he feels, is all his fault. The episode quickly cuts to a new Black Canary, or the Black Canary. It shows a gun deal going down, and someone dressed as the Canary uses her device and steals all the weapons. And it kind of catches the team by surprise as they think, what's going on here? More of the strangeness. They think maybe she could have come back, possibly, but they don't know at this point. And this is another point that I think the writers really tried to drill home, is Captain Lance in this episode was mainly there. He was like a plot device specifically intended to tell the audience that indeed the Black Canary, Laurel, is dead. We've also seen Sarah Lance, her sister, the original Black Canary, come back from the dead. We've seen Ray Palmer come back from the dead. Oliver was thought dead in season 3 and came back. So I think that they used Detective Lance Quinton in this episode to really tell everyone that indeed she is dead and she's not coming back. I firmly believe that we will not see Laurel unless it's in flashbacks such as this episode. One of the parts here is the mortuary when they see her body. And again, in the League of Assassins, Oliver at the warehouse where the League of Assassins kind of hang out is where Oliver and Lance have an emotional moment talking about how they've lost a lot, and I think it's like the first time they've actually bonded over anything, and unfortunately it came at the death of Laurel, but I think that was a really good scene between Stephen Amell and Paul Blackthorne. The emotion that they both showed in this scene was amazing. And I'm glad that they're both staying on and they're going to be going forward. Another plot in here is the doctor who had operated on Laurel actually knows her identity. And after the mortuary scene where Captain Lance needs to see his daughter's dead body just to be sure, she actually tells Oliver that her secret is safe with her, and Oliver by extension, secret is safe, because the doctors figured out that it is actually the Green Arrow she's talking to. And I like how, with the death of Laurel, they've kind of made this consequence where she's died and he brought her in, and they have to explain his secret, not explain his secret identity to her, but it kind of endangers the identity as if something was really to happen like that. Whereas they could have just played it off as she was a dumb doctor or she had no idea who he really was. But no, she figured out that he was the Green Arrow, and because of her doctor patient privilege, she's not going to say a word. And then we get more flashbacks, and the flashbacks this episode weren't like the previous ones in this season. We don't, instead of seeing Oliver on the island on the 4th year that he was there, we're seeing him in the hiatus between season 1 and 2, and specifically what happened after the funeral for Tommy, where Laurel and Oliver's relationship, or possible relationship, is kind of shown. And I think they put this in here to kind of ease the tensions that fans have had with killing Laurel off to replace her with Felicity. I don't personally agree with that move. I know that there's a lot of anger towards the whole Felicity and Oliver relationship in the show, and I was actually okay with it, but I think now it's starting to get a little crazy, where it's taking over most of the plot points for every episode, and I'd like to see them maybe explore other issues and just kind of put this one on the back burner for a while and make the show as great as it was, I think, in season 1 and 2. So the next issue would be Felicity rejoining the team and reconnecting with Oliver. Now, I just kind of touched on that one, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. But she's back on the team, and she's kind of trying to console Diggle because he still felt that it was his fault, and she felt that if she had been there, because she had quit the team at this point, that maybe Laurel would have lived if she was on the other side of the keyboard that night. So the other issue in this, other than burying their friend, is the new Black Canary, and this young girl who apparently wants to tarnish the Canary's reputation. So they have to stop her, and the first attack is on Alex Davis, Thea's boyfriend or friend, and Oliver's ex-campaign manager, where she says, "You work for them." Now, I have a thought that this may be a reference to Hive. Maybe he works for Hive, and instead of just saying you work for the mayor, Reve Dark, or Reve Adams, I think is her last name in this, instead of working for Reve and the city, maybe he works for Hive and he saw her in the facility that her parents were being kept, because it's the Sharp family. Her parents were killed and her name's Evelyn Sharp. So she's now attacked Alex Davis and says you work for them. I think that he may work for Hive, and I think Thea's going to be in for quite the surprise when that's revealed, probably in the next couple episodes, or the next episode, sorry. I guess there's only a couple left. So also in this episode we see Diggle kind of boil over. Despite the efforts of his friends, he just can't seem to forgive himself for what's happened to Laurel, and he actually attacks Reve while she's in a limo on her way to God knows where, and he gets so mad, but luckily Oliver, as Green Arrow, comes in and stops him from making a big mistake and talks him down. And this kind of puts Diggle, I think, at more ease, and everything's great. While in the limo, though, you can hear Reve talking to someone, and it sounds like they're planning something underground in the sewer system, maybe, and I think this is going to be the big end scene, or the final episode's plot. They're kind of setting it up here through small conversations like this. So I think Alex Davis and Reve are helping plan something underground in the sewer system, but we'll see as the season ends. Now, after this, the Canary obviously still wants to attack and hurt everyone, so she attacks the mayor at her new rally or function, and it's up to the team to stop them, while the, once again, anti-vigilante task force comes back again. And through this, it's showing that Reve is actually trying to drag Laurel's memory as the Canary through the mud and kind of tarnish her reputation. And of course, this really upsets most of the team, all the team, and they try to stop the new Canary, Evelyn, before she has a chance to do any more damage as Black Canary and tarnish Laurel's reputation. So the Green Arrow actually comes in. As she's going in, she has a gun to Reve's head, and Green Arrow goes in and kind of talks some sense in her, telling her some stories about how Laurel as the Black Canary, what she would have done, and how she was, and if she had known her, she wouldn't be doing this because she believed in justice, and murder was not the way. And luckily this works, although they don't catch her. I think this kind of gets through to Evelyn, and I think we're going to see her maybe step up, if not at the end of this season, then early in season 5, because I'm sure that she'll become the new Black Canary. So the very end, you see the funeral scene, Laurel's funeral scene, and Oliver's telling everyone that she was a hero and she was more than the ADA, and this actually caught me by surprise, but he actually tells everyone that she was the Black Canary. And I think this is very important because it kind of stops all the assumptions about the Black Canary and all the bad press she's been getting, and I think it's something the whole team would need to go forward. So I think we're going to see some so it was really good to kind of put that on the tombstone. I think it gave Katie Cassidy's character of Black Canary a really as good a way to go out of the show as any, and you can really see all the emotion going on in the crowd through her parents, Oliver and her teammates. I think that they couldn't have done a better way. If they had to kill Canary and Laurel off, they couldn't have given her a better way out than this funeral. Also, Evelyn has shown up, which also kind of reinforces my belief that she will become the new Canary, following Laurel's example, now that Oliver and she have had a small conversation. So I think that's good that they're going to keep the Canary there, but honestly, they've got to stop killing canaries. It's kind of getting a little ridiculous now. So at the very, very end, there is the tie-in with the first episode, which I've also talked about in my first Arrow review and the last Flash review I did, where the Flash comes in and apologizes for being late, and Oliver and he have a discussion about Zoom and everything, and he kind of flashes off. So I'm going to get more into my ideas about the Flash and everything on my Flash review, which should be up very soon. But yeah, so after this scene, Barry runs off and Oliver gets back in the limo and has a discussion with Felicity about killing Damien Dark, and he kind of tells her a little bit about the island in his 4th year and how he came up against this kind of magic before, and it was darkness and he didn't know how to beat it. But I think that this is going to really set up the last 2 episodes well, and hopefully they will be up to our expectations, be up to my expectations, and hopefully it sets up a very good beginning for season 5. Anyway, guys, so that is my review for the Arrow Season 4, Episode 20, entitled Canary Cry. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I'll have more of these, including the Flash review, coming up very soon. If you guys enjoyed this one, please let me know in the comment section down below. Give the video a like, and subscribe to my channel for more great stuff. And I will see you guys on the next one.